Going live on Facebook. There we go. All right. And then I'm here. Let me see who else is joining us. Welcome, my VIPs. Hello, hello, hello. Here we are. And let me have this screen down here. You know, this thing about having two screens is super handy. I never thought I would really want one, but actually my husband made me get the second one. And it works super well. Much better than I expected. I just have to learn. There we go, here. Yes. The only problem is knowing to move one screen to the other and seeing like what I want in the right screen. Because then now I have to go like one screen here, the other there. Then I can see my Facebook people down here in the second screen. Awesome. So if people make comments, I'll try to reach out to everyone. And here we go. How are you? How are you, my lovelies? You're all mute, so.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, much better now. I love it when I can hear you. And I love it even better when I can see you. Tracy, where are you? I can only see your name. There we go. There we go. Okay, now it's good. Fantastic. I know that little by little people will be joining us. And you can see that we're getting serious. When you see a board, you know that it's getting serious, right? So today, we are definitely going to dive into like much deeper work than we did yesterday. And it will like really pile up as we go throughout the week. Before we actually get started, I want to hear from you. If you could do any of the things that we discussed yesterday, if you looked at yourselves, if you found the most common characteristics that come up when people look at you, if you have found what you love about yourself that you want to enhance, what have you discovered like from yesterday to today?
Okay, I'll go first. So I was looking at cute. So I picked out a shirt and I was like, "Ooh, that's cute. I won't go with cute this morning."
All right, good. And did you find anything that looked like cute and you were like, okay, it's cute because of this?
Yep, it had little flowers on it, and it was just the size and the repetition and the pattern of it. I was like, oh, that's what makes it cute. So, and it was a little bit the style of it too, in the sense of it was fitted and then it kind of flared. So
okay, so it was clothing.
Yeah, it was both pieces together.
It was like a piece of clothing you were looking at.
Yep. But as far as actually, I was thinking if you want something not clothing, I was thinking about a bunny. So a bunny is cute because it's little and small and soft.
And yes, all of that.
And fluffy,
yeah, so
exactly.
These are characteristics that we have to be aware of, because many times those characteristics are in us and we just don't realize it. And this is why people think of us and perceive us as that thing that we do not want to be perceived as. Let me see, there's more people joining us here. Let me allow people little by little. Okay, would you like to say what you thought of, Vivi?
Well, it's hard for me really to see myself because I'm in transitioning right now. I'm coming from, I was 120 kilos not very long ago, and now I'm making this transition. So it is still hard for me to adjust my mind with, my outside. But I always like.
Oh my goodness, sorry, I got, my volume went down here and I couldn't hear you.
Oh no!
Some VIPs are asking to, can you hear me?
We can hear you well.
Yes, okay, some VIPs are asking to join. You got the text and the email with the link, right?
Yes, we did.
You did?
Yeah.
The text and email?
Text and email.
Just a second. Let me. Okay, sorry, technology getting in our way, but we are back here. So please, David, continue.
No, so what I was going to say is, because I'm in a transition state right now, it's hard for me really to pinpoint what it is that I love about myself, because I feel like I'm, building myself again from ground up sometimes.
Okay, like so there are two things there. Okay, one is like what you want and how you want to be perceived, and that maybe you can find out throughout the week.
Mhm.
But regardless of how you want to be perceived, what I want you to be aware of is how you look at things and why you think certain things look like this or that, so that you can find those things in you and realize that, oh, so this is probably why people think I'm this.
Mm.
And then the change you want to make during the week, we are going to find out. And it actually, like, you may decide that it's not about a change, but it's about really taking it to your heart and embracing that that is something that is part of you and you want to go along with that.
Okay, interesting.
It's not always that changing is the best way to go. Sometimes what you have to do is just like enhance something that is there already, so that you can get the most out of your natural beauty. So it's definitely not always about, oh, I don't want this anymore. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you need that. And some other times you will want that in the morning and something else in the evening. And it's all right. It's all in the power of choosing what you want to communicate when and how.
Okay, so then I'm going to have to really be multifaceted, because presenting myself to a client in different settings, I'm going to have to be different.
And you know what? We are most times we are. It's very hard that to believe that we are one only thing, that we will be perceived as this only all the time, right? Depending on the setting, depending on what is expected from us, we will naturally be perceived in a different way, because you don't wake up every morning and wear the same clothes. You don't wake up every morning and have exactly the same hairstyle, earrings, necklace, and all set of accessories that will be put up together, right? So depending on the choice you make, you will be perceived in a different way. Of course, that you've got some limitations, I will put it this way, because of your nature, right? So there are certain things that you will only change if you change like your looks 100%. Like if you change your hair color, if you change your hair structure, if you change your bone structure and things like that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about like finding what is already in you and either enhancing that, because that's a characteristic that will actually support your professional or personal goals, or camouflaging and balancing that so that something else is highlighted, and then you can like be perceived as a little bit more towards a different side than the natural one. Does that make sense to you?
It does. It makes a lot of sense. I think that requires a little bit of more exercise, though. So
Sure.
that'll be my
Sure.
homework for today.
Actually, that's exercise that you will be practicing like every day from now on, because until the moment you were aware of that, you knew nothing about it. So you were just like going with the flow. It's now the first time that you stop to think about it. So from now on, you will be aware. From now on, these things will make a difference. Okay, let me look at the people here. I don't know why the Facebookers just disappeared from my screen. Something else that I just want to recap a little bit about. Okay, there we go. What happened yesterday? And hey, ladies, everyone that is on Facebook, so good to see you. Don't forget that if you are a VIP, you have your private link to join us. And please have your questions in the comments, right? And if I don't answer them right away, I will absolutely answer them once the session is over. But I want you to have all of your questions really, really answered. I want you to go without, with any kind of doubt or anything today. So, what we did yesterday, it was amazing to meet you and to get to know you and to understand a little bit better where you're at and where you would like to be at, and to actually show you that everything that we're going to be doing this week is not about vanity. It's not about trying to look like someone we are not. It's definitely about being more of who we are inside. It's finding our natural beauty and working on that so that we are conscious about it and that we believe in it and that people receive that the same way that we feel it, right? So we talked about how important it is to really honor our beauty because we were made in image, like in the image of the Lord, and because we are made in his likeness, and because being vain is doing that because we are worried about what other people think. As long as we're doing that because we are honoring who we are, it is okay. What is not okay is to hide in fear. That is not okay, right? So I also tell everyone here that for you to be in the Zoom session, you have to be a VIP. Being a VIP, you get all of the recordings from like everything we are doing during the week. You have access to that for 1 full year. I don't have many more seats left. Yesterday after the session, some more people joined. So if you still want to be a VIP, hurry up. I would love to have you here. If not, you will have access to everything we are doing throughout the week until the 22nd, maybe 23rd, when we finish, when we wrap up with all of the content. You have everything in the group. After that, it will be like gone. And I hope you will have really learned from the week. Also, the reason I'm asking you to really go ahead, do your, like, make your online, your live videos, right? Go live, introduce yourselves, say where you're talking to us from, what your goals are, what kind of image you want to convey, is because the more you participate, the more I can give you. And I will start today, like with the drawing of one complimentary session. Someone will have like 30 minutes to sit with me, tell me all of like the difficulties you have in your appearance so that we can work together. Also on Thursday, one of you, regardless of being a VIP or not, so everybody's running, please go ahead, like have your videos, introductions and all of that and participate, because you can get one spot in my Dress to Success program, in which for like over 40 weeks and like a few bonuses, you will have access to an over $900 program. And that is going to be for free for one person, and that person we will find out on Thursday. And of course, it will be like the more you participate, the more points you get, the more points you get, the more chances you have. And I will have the wheel spinning on Thursday in the beginning of our session. Okay, so make sure that you're really participating and taking the most out of it, because you are really going to get more if you do more. Also, everything that we learn on a day-to-day basis, you have to apply. It's not about coming here, watching it, and then going like, okay. If you do not do it, you will not learn it. You only learn by doing, by experimenting, by testing it. So I want you to go, do it, come back to me and say, Lizzie, I don't think it worked. And then we're going to work on that. Because if you just like listen to me and you go ahead, do your business, and you don't care about what we learned, it's not going to change. Change only comes with action. So act first to get the results. Results will not come because you watch this. Results will come because you are doing this. So let's become doers and not watchers, right? That's what I want from you. during this week. And then, because I really, really, really want you to do it, I'm going to start challenging you for real right now. I will share a document like in Facebook and also here on Zoom. And you're going to have to really commit to this challenge, commit to styling up so you can definitely step up for yourself and your business. Okay, so let me get you the link. Here we go. I'll share it here with you ladies in the room. Oopsie. Okay, doing again. 1, 2, 3. Share. Copy link, and there you go. Tell me if you see it and tell me if it's opening for you. And then here for you ladies, you have the link as well. Please tell me if it's opening, if you can see it. Yes? Good. So let me read that with you. Okay, so this is our commitment to style up, right? Great, Claire. Oh, by the way, let me, Claire asked the question last night, and you may have realized that the video from yesterday was not available. The reason for that is, those of you who were here live, remember that I started a session like with some music. So that was actually like blocked by Facebook because of Sony Records rights and stuff. So I had to download the video. I had to cut that part of the video where we had the song, and then I just uploaded it again. So the video from yesterday is there. I'm sorry that those of you who did not watch live cannot listen to the song, but it was Grace Got You by Mercy Me, if you want to listen to that. And we really, well, I tried not to sing much, not to really disturb anyone, because my voice doesn't help much at all. But the song is wonderful. We dance to the tune and we really get motivated because of what we were listening to. Yeah, it's a great song, but it's a shame they will not allow us to have any music there because of like rights and whatever else, which I think is so silly, but we have to respect that. So it's already edited, and if the video is not there, it's uploading as we speak. Okay, so there we go. We have the commitment to style up. And I would really like you, my ladies who are here in the VIP with me, to help me by reading, like each one of you will read one of the sentences. And if you can print it now, I would love it for you to print it now. If you cannot print it now, you will still read it, print it later, and sign it, because that is a commitment you're really, really taking to yourselves. It's not a commitment between you and me. It's you and you, because it's about your changes. It's about your commitment. It's about the things you want for your personal image. It's not about what I'm offering here. I'm giving you the tools. If you do not apply them, they won't work. So that's your commitment, that you will apply those tools, that you will apply those like pieces of learning, so that you can actually look the part and look the way you want to look for your business. So who will start reading that for me? I can't hear you. You're too silent.
I guess I can.
Very well. Please go ahead.
I guess in that case, Flavia, I'm open and committed to trying, experimenting, testing, and playing around with my personal image during the Style Up Step Up Challenge and beyond.
Great. Next of you.
I'll do it. So I am not afraid to look different and experiment with how people react, because I know I have the knowledge to change their perception.
Perfect. Go ahead.
I will be open to looking more approachable or authoritative and will observe how people react.
Great. Next one.
I will support my friends in this challenge and help them rescue the Belitza and El Gancia
Yes.
that lives in them so they communicate that to the world.
Amazing. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow and on Thursday. And the last but not least, who closes up for me? Or should I do that? I am ready to style up and step up and love it. Okay? Are you in? Are we doing this together? Yes, yes, great. Okay, so what I want you to do is either you will print it for real and take a picture holding it and say, yes, I'm doing it, or you will just like, yay, I love it, Tracy. Great, great. So you will sign it. Hey, Alicia, perfect. I love it. So you will sign it, take a picture, and share in our group. Okay, that is also adding points to your spinning wheel on Thursday. Okay, so ladies in the Facebook group, please do the same. I want you printing that. If you cannot print, no problems. Just like sign it the way you can sign it, even if it's just typing your name in, and show us in the group that you are with us, that you are doing it for real. Okay, so there is more for you to work on today, and this is when things will begin to get serious. Oh, great. We have something else for you to work on, and feel free to print or just like write the way you prefer, just following what we are doing. We are going to talk today about the 7-11 rule. And that's not coffee. It's not coffee, but it can boost your image, right? So the 7-11 rule is something that most people have heard about, but have not stopped to think about it. What is it? You will try to find the research online. I have to be honest and say that I had it. It was like, it's some research that was done in Harvard about perception, but I cannot find the paper online anymore. And I believe the reason I cannot find that anymore is because although the 11 part of the 7-11 rule is non-negotiable and everybody knows that is real, people cannot agree about the 7 part of the 7-11 rule. Okay, some people say it's 7, some people say it's under 7, and some people say it's 27. So there is a big difference there, but because we're talking about seconds, it doesn't matter. Even if it's 27, you cannot waste that time. Okay, so what is the 7-11 rule? It has been proved that and I will go with what I have known forever. I will forget about the 27. That is just something that I have recently found about. Let's go with the 7-11 rule as it is like in nature. In just 7 or even under 7 seconds, without interacting with you, people can judge and have their mind set at 11 things about you. So you've not interacted with that person. You may be just like in a room talking to someone else, not even near that person. And just by looking at you and seeing the way you behave, the way you're dressed, the way you portray yourself, someone over there in basically under 7 seconds will make a list of 11 things that they already think about you. And then we go back to the question, like, is it worth it wasting like that first impression? I would say no. This is why when we are mindful of what we're wearing, the way we look, we can actually be ahead of those people and making them think about us what we want them to think about us. If we are reckless about our appearance, we are leaving that to them. We are leaving that decision 100% to them because we are not thinking about what we're wearing and the way we look. I don't think that's worth it. I don't think it's fair that we will leave it up to people we don't know when we know ourselves so well and we can actually show them who we are 100% accurately. Okay, so this is the 7-11 rule. My handwriting is bad. Tell me if you can read it well. Is it good? Okay, I think it may be a little small, so I'm gonna have to do it bigger for the no, it's fine? Okay, so let me know if there is anything that you cannot read well, and then I will just like adjust how to do it. So I don't forget any of them. So the first of them, the first of the 11, okay, so we have here 7 seconds. And then we have 11 aspects. Okay. Oh, something important before I get into them. Also, something else that this research found out is that it takes up to 8 consecutive positive encounters for you to undo a first impression that was initially negative. And by negative, what we have to understand is it's not necessarily that people thought something bad about you. It's that people looked at you and perceived you in a way that is not true. And that is the most common thing. Because when we talk about, for instance, being someone who is super driven and professional versus being someone who is charismatic and approachable, there's no good or bad here. It's just different. But if I'm in a moment of my life where I want to be perceived as someone charismatic and I'm being and I'm conveying the image of someone who is too distant, too cold, too professional, that's not going to help me. Okay, so it's not about being only like good and bad, but it's being what we want or not. It's making our image work for us instead of against us. And all of us here have very different goals with our image. And all of us here have goals that are different depending on the moment in our lives. There will be times in our lives, for instance, let's think like, let's suppose that someone here is in the moment of their lives when they want to find their better half. They want to get married and live happily forever after. Do you think that person has got to be out there showing themselves the same way that someone who's trying to find the best job of their lives in the corporate world? That's definitely not. And that's definitely not the same way that the person will be showing themselves like in different moments of their lives. So if this person who is really career driven right now wants to go out straight from work to meet someone, I would say go home and change first, because most likely your goals are going to be like getting in the way, like your professional goal is going to be getting in the way of your personal goal, right? So the perception here is not about right or wrong. It's about being what we want, being appropriate for our goals or not. Okay, so the 11 aspects now are, let me go back to them. They will find out your educational level. You will find out your economic level. And like, if we were to stop here alone, this would already set apart so many clients from us, because clients will connect with people who are aligned with them. So if you look like someone whose educational level is under the one of your clients, they're not going to connect. And if you look like someone who's not successful in what you're doing, they are not going to connect. And your economic level has to do with your financial means, with your professional success. Because people look at you and think, okay, so what I see there is someone who has worked up that ladder to the point where, okay, I see she has progressed, I see he has progressed, and I validate that, and I will be on board with that person. And that's like 7 seconds. So like, thank you guys for in 7 seconds have like gone through 11 things and said, yes, I want to be in this challenge, right? It means a lot to me. So number 3, it also means that we, like, people relate, they have the same values. And there's so much we're going to go through here that I really wanted to believe, to understand that nothing here is set on stone, and it's all dependable, like it's all depending on your culture. It depends even sometimes on where like you are located geographically. It depends on your age bracket. It depends on so much, because like when we advance in life, our perception about things, our priorities, they change. As they change, so change our filters towards people. So when we look at people and we identify all of these aspects, we're using our personal filters, our experiences, to quickly go there and decide whether that person is someone I want to invest in, whether that person is someone I want to relate with, whether that person is someone I want to get married to, right? So, and then we also have the, here it's like, it's a lot of things, but it's the perceived credibility, believability, competence, and honesty. So when we go here, we just think like we could like go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're already in 6, and we know it's 11. And I'm not writing these as part of like individual ones in the 11. So only this item here talks about credibility, believability, competence, and honesty. Have you ever stopped to think that people look at you and will judge if you are someone they will trust or not, that they look at you and think she is honest or she is not honest just by your appearance. Like, isn't it like a lot of pressure on us to think that when we step out, like to go anywhere, or even like we don't have to step out anymore, we're just here, right? People are looking at us and they are reading us in such way. Some of you may go like, oh, that's BS. And what I have to say is, we err like from our families, but like from in our DNA, we carry the weight of everything that has happened in the world. When we are here looking at each other, we are not looking at each other thinking only with like our brains. We are thinking using all of the information that has been given us through books we read, TV shows we watch, news we follow, and everything that we have, like since children, discussed with your families. Every point of view our parents have had about people. Think about the moments in your life that you were like with your parents as a child, and they talked like during lunchtime, during dinner time. Oh, I don't like that person. I don't know. There is something about him. There is something about her that doesn't make me trust him or her. So like all of that is here. All of that is here. And if we go even like further back in time, think about when like Stone Age, we had to decide in an instant of a second if that was a moment to run or to embrace. If that was a prey we would kill or become friends with. And we do that. It's an instinct. We cannot avoid it, right? Let's go to number 4. Sophistication. You decide the level of sophistication of a person. And you will want to connect based on feeling comfortable with that level of sophistication or looking up to that level of sophistication. You rarely connect with people who are less sophisticated than you, except if you want to help them level up. Usually you will connect with people who are the same level or higher because you feel that you are like speaking from the same ground, or that that person has something to add to you. Most often than not, that's what happens. No, what am I missing here? Oh, trustworthy. If you are trustworthy or not, which to me relates a lot about being believable, honest, and credible. It all comes together, right? Then we have sex role identification. And I remember a while ago, I was giving this workshop, and I was talking exactly about this. And I felt like it was in person. So I was in a room with about 30 women. And I saw this one begin to move like in the chair like this. And I noticed that she was really, really annoyed by what I was saying. And I didn't really know what to do or say, because I felt like if I asked her, most likely she was going to say things that were going to disturb my presentation, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to hear her speak or not. Well, when it got, like, we were going down here, right? So when we got to this item here, she stood up and she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I don't mean a thing other than what I'm saying. It's not a matter of you being okay or not with anything I'm listing here. It's just identifying that. So when people look at you and they perceive you as having a sex role that is different from the one expected, it's not saying that they're going to hate you or love you because of that. It's saying that they realize it, that it's noticeable. So like I said in the beginning, there's no good or bad. What we see here is just like the truth. And our brain is not, at that moment, our brain is not yet deciding if they like it or not. They are observing that. Okay, so this is it. Check, 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 check. Oh, and check. So if you are talking to someone who shows through their appearance, even if it's not true, but if they show through their appearance that their sex role is different than the one we expect, the brain will have a check mark and continue. Okay, that will be noticed. Okay, I think we're running out of space here. I'm gonna try to. So then we have success. I'm gonna do like this. Political background. And then again here, when we talk about success, to me, it again relates a lot to sophistication. It relates to economic level. It relates to competence. They all go together. But we have someone joining us in the room here. Let me welcome them. Where's my mouse now? There we go. Okay, fine. When we talk about political background, especially these days that we are living, it seems that you cannot talk politics. But you know what? Many times you don't have to. Many times you don't even have to mention if you are involved, if you are someone who cares or not. People will perceive that by the way you look, the way you behave, the way you portray yourself. So isn't it better to really give out the right image instead of like giving people a chance to make mistakes about who you are and what you believe? Because like, I'd rather be known and maybe even hated for someone that I am than liked for someone I'm not. Because if people believe I am something and in the long run they realize I'm not, they will feel like I deceived them. They will feel like I was not honest. And there is nothing more important, at least in my opinion, than being honest and true. So if you look at me and you think something different than what the truth is, I will want to make sure that that is corrected. I will want to make sure that in the next opportunities that we have to interact, I will show you or talk to you in a way that that has been corrected. So I'm sorry, but even your political background is being noticed as you speak, as you move, as you interact with people. Welcome, Joanne. Good to see you, or at least good to see that you're orange. We have Jessica green today, and then Joanne is orange. Oh, yes. For most of us here, this is something that we are proud of, our religious background. So this is something that we really want people to notice, to show, and most of us really speak out our faith. So I think this is something that we are 100% on board, and we are happy that people perceive from our image as well. than our, okay, that's gonna get hard. Ethnic background and social, professional, and sexual desirability. Desirability. So this is so important for us, because if you are taking care of your image because you want people to become your clients, to become customers, to relate with you professionally, you have to know if you are desirable. You have to look the part to really be attractive and connect with that. That is the whole point of our whole week here. It's really being desirable, being people who, as we show ourselves, as we show up like online or in person, right, that people will want to be with you, with us, like for longer than that moment in time, that they will want to connect and learn more from us. They want to know what we do, why we do it, how we do it, and hopefully they will do it like with us, with our guidance, because they connected. And the first thing is the way we look. Okay, so up until here, I want to look into the group. Oh, 10 is ethnic background. Let me see. Okay, ladies, I will go back to the group and answer all of those questions later. It's hard for me to read them from here, even though I'm wearing my glasses. But if any one of you is in the group and you see any question, you want to say that question here in the VIP room, just let me know and I will answer. But now I want to ask you, so far, what questions do you have? VIPs, challengers, here, my lovelies. What questions do you have so far?
So is it okay for us not to want to, I know that perception is something, it's something that we cannot avoid. People will perceive us in a way or another, whether we want it or not. So I guess our role here is really to make people really see us for what we are or for what we want them to see. Right? But there are certain aspects, for an example, religion and politics, really, that's something that I do not want people to really know. Because in my case, for an example, that can limit even the types of jobs I'm offered and I'm casted for.
Great question. So this is the tricky thing. Usually, if you are really over mindful about something, you will actually make people perceive the extreme end of that. So the best way to have people not like pay that much attention to that is play up a certain other aspect that you think is powerful for you. So what is maybe more contrasting if you would think about like being about political background, okay? What is the aspect that would be contrasting to that one? It could be that you want to highlight how successful you are, okay? So you will play up aspects of your image that will make you be like, oh, she is successful up front. That's the first thing they realize. And then by the end of the 7 seconds, when they get to, okay, political background, maybe that is not even as important.
Okay.
However, I have to say that it's not something conscious that people do. It's not something that they are there making a mental note and writing down aspect by aspect. All of that is stored in your brain, and it will like help you make instant decisions. And they are not going to list and say, oh, I did not hire her because I know that her political background is different than mine. they will just not hire you. It's not something that they will be able to say the reason was that, because it's not conscious. It's something that happens too fast and that is stored in our memories in a way that you cannot really go back there and pinpoint what aspect it was. And I would dare to say that you would feel better, most likely not working with those people. Because if they have not connected, it means that there will be a time in moment that you would have problems with that connection. And this is something that happens all the time. Well, we are running here. Okay, went beyond time with the group. I'm sorry that I promised 45 minutes with you, and I have been over a little bit over 52 minutes now. But we will continue in the VIP group. Ladies in the Facebook, please leave your questions, leave your comments. I will get back to you, and I will also, as I post the explanation for today, I will give you all of the information about what you have to do. The first one you already know. You have to show your commitment to sign up. Okay, that's something that is going to give you some points. Remember that we only have a few extra seats to become a VIP if you want to, and work hard so that you can be the one who will get the spot for the Dress to Express program. Okay, I love you. I'll go deeper here now with the VIPs, and I'll keep you posted about everything that is happening. So let me just go here to